are listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You are listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Tuesday. It is June 27th, 2023. How the hell are we? Can't wait for Halloween. It just sounded like it would rhyme right there. What's up, everybody? We've got a good one for you tonight. That's right. A whole bunch of school kids saw UFOs. Say what? Yes, it's true. Again. 40 years ago, but don't worry about it. I got a little surprise to throw in with that story. Yeah. It's interesting having these situations arise, you know? Why the UFOs in schools? Do you know how many times this has happened throughout Histoire? A lot. A lot more than you think. Yeah, it's weird. It's almost as if they're like the UFOs, they're like, there's those short ones are outside. Let's go over there. Yeah, they all sound like Jimmy Durante. Wait, no, who was that? Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, let's talk to school kids. We're gonna put it in their mind, see? That's how they talked back then. We're gonna come down to the school, see? We're gonna put some logic into the kids, see? And then they're gonna grow up and they're gonna look crazy, see? Yeah, that's not gonna work, see? Why do they always have to get old? I know. So stupid. But the stories. Because nobody's ever heard of Gorredijk. Gorredijk, Netherlands? Gorredijk. Or is it Gorredijk? Well, that's where we're going to be going. What are they? UFOs and aliens. And Marco Rubio. Have you heard? Marco Rubio's going nuts. He's going to be the foremost guy to talk to in the Senate. He's the guy that we need to talk. He's the guy running the show now. That's right. It's the Rubio way or no way at all. It's okay. I want you to imagine you're working for the government as a subcontractor or a contractor, whatever, defense contractor, and all of a sudden you guys broke through on this technology and your boss goes, "Don't say shit. We just found a way to go back in time. Do not say, everybody, come here. We're going to sign some shit. Nobody says anything about this. I don't want the government to know. I don't want anybody to know." Now all of a sudden, we're going to give amnesty to those companies that may or may not have technologies of non-Earth origin or materials. Don't worry about it. People think this is wonderful. On that side of ufology, it's the worst. It's terrible. What it does, it's going to put people against people. That's all they're doing is dividing. Do you see? I don't like it. We got a lot to talk about tonight. What's that? A little bit of what? I see this. Sven. Thank you for the $20 Swedish. $2. It's a dono. It's the first one. Mucho gusto, generoso. Thanks, Sven. Appreciate that. The Angel of Goofon, Jeanette Angel. That should be yellow, not green. That's 10 pound, 10 quid super sticker. It's a super sticker. All right. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mucho gusto, generoso, a continuing supporter of Goofon, of course. And True Be You with the $5 super sticker. Mucho gusto, generoso to you too. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You can help support Goofon, Super Chat, Super Sticker, PayPal, Cash App. All the links are in the show description. It's how we survive off you, and you survive off me. Capiche? All right. Not that intense. Relax. Everybody just relax. And welcome to the show, True Be You, Jeanette, and Sven. Mucho gusto, generoso. Thank you for the super stickers and the love. And we're going to welcome to the show, Sven. Welcome to the show, Jeanette. Welcome to the show, True Be You. Mindforked, welcome to the show, Intergalactic Angler. You too, welcome. Diamond Dog, not Devil Dog, welcome to the show. Stu Gerson. Stu Gerson. Welcome to the show. Bob, the Shirtless Wonder Birkins, welcome to the show. Stars and Night Vision, welcome to this show. David Wilcox, Nod Wilcox, welcome to the show. Glenn Collins, welcome to the show. Dorothy, howdy doody, welcome to the show. Good to see you. I know you've been busy. The Boss, Diane, welcome to the show. Boz. Josie, UK, welcome to the show. I'm okay. That UFO chick, welcome to the show. Mr. Bonnie, hey, how you doing, William Bonnie? How is everybody? How's the fam, huh? Brian Yates, welcome to the show. All right, let's get started. Tim Freestone, welcome to the show. John, welcome. Marvelous Marvin. Intergalactic Angler, welcome to the show. Joe Monk, what do you say? How do you be? Michelle, how do you do? Troy, SR71, what do you say, man? Good to see you. Thank you. And 666 UFO UAP. And Bernie Muro. All right, let's get going. Yeah. You know, hey, Cyber Bry. How you doing? If I didn't say your name, it doesn't mean I don't love you. Did I ever say that? It means we got a lot of show to do. I don't know why I'm about to laugh. I don't know what's so stupidly funny to me. So yeah, this Marco Rubio thing is hysterical. I don't know why I just can't. I want to take them all seriously in this field. I just have a hard time right now. But it's real important that we stay focused, Rich. All right, because there really is something going on. There really is. It's interesting to see, though. I just laugh inside because I'm like, what are we doing? Is this really happening? Are we on our way to disclosure? I'm not so sure. But it is strange. The whole thing. The whistleblowers, the Las Vegas aliens, which, believe it or not, there is news about it tonight. Here, let's just pull it up. And then now there's red flags all over the whistleblower story. Yeah, this is unbelievable. Here, let's take a look. Rubio. I want to start off with this today. I got a video of what is going on. A little bit of Rubio, what he said. Let's get this. This is important. This is history. It's happening almost on a daily, if not weekly basis here in ufology. It is. It is history, because we're going to look back on this in a few years and go, do you remember when the whistleblower David Grush came out? Remember? And he's not really. And then we're in the aliens and then the Greer. No. We're all going to remember all that stuff, man. All this stuff is history. It's important that we dive in.
Rubio has stated that whistleblower David Grush is not the only government official and whistleblower to have come forward with UFO claims.
We'll say there are people that have come forward to share information with our committee over the last couple of years. I would imagine some of them are potentially some of the same people that perhaps he's referring to. I want to be very protective of these people. A lot of these people came to us even before these protections were in the law for whistleblowers to come forward.
Sorry, people who have had firsthand knowledge, who claim to have firsthand knowledge of seeing this type of thing,
or have firsthand knowledge or firsthand claims of certain things. Some are public figures, and you've heard from them in the past. Others, have not shared publicly. And so we're trying to gather as much of that information as we can. And the reason why I'm being cautious, I'm not trying to be evasive, but I am trying to be protective of these people. Some of these people still work in the government. And frankly, a lot of them are very fearful of their jobs, fearful of their clearances, fearful of their career. And some, frankly, are fearful of harm coming to them.
So we're still there. We're still at that level of where the whistleblowers are saying they're still worried about harm coming to them, their families, their dogs, cats, animals, pets, goldfish. It's not safe. As much as I want people to come forward and tell us stuff, I want it to be good. If you're going to do it, just do it once. Rip it off with the Band-Aid. Say, I'm not supposed to show this, but look at this. This is real. Bob Lazar was right. This is the sports model. And then they hold up, a picture of it. And it's real. And people are trying to drag him out. I've got video. And the camera's trying to take my phone. Play it on air. Hurry up before they kill me. That's the whistleblower we need. Mom, Dad, I love you. I'm coming soon, Fluffy. Aliens are real. I'm a real person. My First Amendment rights, they're hiding it from you. They're lying. The U.S. government knows aliens exist. Ah! Right? That's the whistleblower guy I want. Where's that guy? So we've got alien bodies with pilots and they're all underground and never gonna get them. Oh yeah! I'm tired of that same story. And he knows that these people are scared for their lives, and they should be. If it's real. I'm telling you right now, I'm ready to show my UFOs to you guys because I know they're not aliens. Because I know there's got to be an explanation, but until then, they're pretty freaking cool. Lots of dots. I'm a dot expert. That's why I hate dots. It reminds me of my own. It does. I hate them. I hate it. I'll get to super chats and super stickers in a minute. I see it. But yeah, man. All right, one more. Let's continue this. This is good.
So that category of people who have firsthand knowledge, who say they have actually seen these kinds of things, do you find many of them credible?
Well, I don't find them either not credible or credible because we have no basis. Understand some of these claims are things that are beyond sort of the realm of what any of us has ever dealt with.
Rubio also posed a question about the incentives of some of these whistleblowers.
I find most of these people at some point, or maybe even currently, have held very high clearances and high positions within our government. So you do ask yourself, like, what incentive would so many people with that kind of qualification, these are serious people, have to come forward and make something up?
Right. Yeah, what incentive would there be for them to make something up? Oh, geez. Hey, Mr. Johnson, I understand you want to do a little whistleblowing, do you? Yes, sir. Do I know you? I'm the head of the Illuminati. You don't need to know my name. Here's what you're going to do. All right. You got that? Okay. You say what I wrote down there and everything will be good. All right. Wait, I don't understand. You want to live, right? Of course. Just read what's on the note I gave you. That's all you do, Mr. Whistleblower, you. Thank you, Mr. Illuminati. Don't thank me yet. Read what I told you. And then he gets in. I have worked on alien programs. That's true. I have. We have found in archaeological digs that this is all true. Everything that's here. Why do you sound like you're reading this for the first time? Oh no, I get excited every time I read it. I have yet to see these things personally. That's not true. I have not yet to see these things with my own eyes. It's all hearsay, but it's the truth. It says smiling. Right? That's kind of what I feel happened to Grush. They changed it. They got to him just before he went on air, or the day before, or secret email or DM, or only things that they know. There's no way, man. The government's not going to allow real. I'm excited, believe it or not. I am. I'm down with the whole disclosure thing. If this is going in that direction, I'm down with it. Of course I am. What I'm not down with is being fooled again. I mean, I wasn't fooled, but you know what I mean. I mean, I don't want to be hearing the lies. I don't want this to stop is what I'm really saying. I want them to go all the way is what I'm really saying. I want disclosure is what I'm saying. And I'm in a defense mode. I'm in a not trusting mode. But I'm trying to see the good in all of this. It seems pretty good. More whistleblowers are coming. They're scared. Rubio is going to do everything to protect the anonymity of these people, which there's no way he can. The government's watching every one of them. Maybe they're not. How do you know? Right? How do you know if you're a whistleblower? What is the incentive for a whistleblower? Why are they doing it? Are they getting paid to do it? No. Are they writing a book? Movie? Documentary? No. TV show? No. No, these are good people. And they think that the American public can handle it. And they think they have a duty to have an act of treason against their government for whatever reason. It's very strange times we're living in. Treason is okay as long as it's about UFOs. Well, the government's lying. We pay them to lie and to tell us the truth. And let's stop blaming the government. And let's start taking action ourselves. How many people are out there marching? How many people are out there calling their... Nobody. Nobody's doing it. There's no movement. 20 people is not a movement. We need a movement. The public needs to rise up, and I'm not kidding. We all need to go to Washington. We all need to It's true. Lou was right. That's one thing he was right about. Which I said, it's stupid, Lou, because nobody's going to do it. But he's right. But we're still not doing it. And I'm to blame. Somebody's got to take charge. How do we do it? David, thank you for the $1, £1, £1 super sticker, man. I appreciate it. Mucho gusto generoso, my friend. And welcome to the show. Thank you very much. Mr. Catfish 2100 with $1.49 super sticker. Mucho gusto generoso. Thank you very much again, Mr. Catfish 2100, and welcome to the show. Good to see you. And Easy E21. Hey, who you calling sizzle chest rubberneck, huh? Yeah, thanks Easy E21 for the $5 super chat. Usually I'm used to saying super donos. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And Andrea Coran with the $2. I wish you were a whistleblower, Richie. You know what I am? Just blowing in the wind. I am, yeah, I gotta do something. I don't have anything to whistleblow about. I really wish I was. It would be a different day. You would have disclosure by now. I'd be that guy. It's real. I'm telling you, they're hiding it. And they drag me away and I get smaller and my voice gets weaker. And I'm telling you. You hear a door close. Cha-choom. Thanks, Andrea. You're a continuing supporter of Goof On as well. Thank you. Welcome to the show. I see UFOs. Hey, man, welcome to the show. Thomas McNostril. Great name. Welcome to the show. Equado. How you doing? Been a minute. Humans. Awaken Woof. Mick. Welcome, welcome. Jay Cierno. Welcome. Alfie Joe Bob. How you doing? Doug G. What do you say, man? Good to see everybody. Thanks for hanging out tonight here on Goof On. We're just continuing through the Rubio news that has slowly dripping through the news day here. Let's continue.
James Comer, of course, announced that there's going to be an investigation following the gross revelations. And that investigation is going to be led by two GOP reps, Anna Paulina Luna of Florida and Tim Burchett of Tennessee, who's previously made claims about a government cover-up involving a UFO. So I think lots of folks are kind of in line with what Rubio is saying, that I don't obviously know what the truth is here, but the fact of having so many credible, generally speaking, people of who are high up in various agencies being willing to come forward and give this sort of testimony is credible in and of itself. It suggests that there potentially should be a there, at least to the extent that it justifies having some kind of hearing. And the question is, who is going to testify at that hearing? We don't know any details about witness lists or things like that as of yet. But the hope is that it's, instead of it being this kind of levels of hearsay, that someone with firsthand knowledge of what has been claimed, that there is potentially a fully intact vessel, a piece of a vessel, or even some...
I like what she's saying. Did you hear? Not somebody who's secondhand hearsay. Ba-dum-bum. I love when these B-rated news shows say the right thing. Where do they get their knowledge from? My God, I know they're watching. And don't forget, every morning at 7 a.m., Alien Girl 111, right here on YouTube. We cover the first 12 hours of your day and the last 12 hours. Alien Girl and Goof On, 12 hours apart. You can't go wrong. Continue.
Alien material, biological material in custody will come forward and speak to that.
Right, and Rubio talked there about the difficulties in getting those the people with direct knowledge to speak. They rationally fear for their jobs, for their clearance. They're worried that indicating they might have seen something personally. Does that indicate that there's something wrong with you psychologically from the government standpoint, and thus you're not fit to have the clearance that you have, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it speaks to the difficulty. And I appreciate Rubio being careful there, saying, I don't know, and I don't want to name people. But at some point, we're not going to advance this the interests of fact finding here at all, unless some people who maybe they're afraid for their jobs. I mean, again, if they're able to demonstrate conclusively that the U.S. government does have knowledge or does have an actual craft or an alien a pilot's remains or something like that, and you're the person who actually brings that to attention, I mean, you're gonna do okay professionally. I mean, maybe you're
Oh no, are you kidding? I was muted that whole time? Oh, I can't believe it. This sucks. That's the worst. Oh, and I said some good things. I'll never get it back. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. I am so pissed right now. I am so pissed. I am embarrassed. I am pissed off. I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe I said all of that and nobody heard a word. Not a freaking word. I can't even look at myself right now. I'm embarrassed. Can't believe I just did that. don't know what I said. That sucks. And here you guys are putting muted. And I'm like, I don't want to look over there. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to. And then I looked down and I saw the red light was on. Sorry, guys. I haven't done that in a minute. It's been a long time. So once a year, it happens. They don't make that button bright enough on StreamYard when it's muted. I just don't know why it was muted, because I didn't mute it. Tim Freestone throwing down $5 for your box of Cracker Jacks. You can be a whistleblower. Oh man, that's right. Maybe I will be you can use a Cracker Jacks box to be a whistleblower, you know. Yeah. Or you just win the prize. Is that what you mean? Thanks, Tim Freestone. You know, do they still sell Cracker Jacks? I don't know. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. You're a continuing supporter. Just like Alfie Joe Bob here with the $5 super sticker. Hey, mucho gusto, generoso over there. Can't believe I was muted. That sucked. I said some good things, too. I was so proud of myself. I was like, hey, that was pretty good. And I looked down and I freaking muted. Thanks, Alfie Joe Bob. Mucho gusto, generoso. Sven, that's a $5, that red goof on icon on a t-shirt. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. July 4th. You guys are going to like it. It's exciting. Thanks, Sven. Appreciate the support. Everybody, thank you very much. All the links are in the show description if you want to keep this goof on going. All right, one more clip from the Rubio thing, and then we got to move on.
You're going to find work outside government or something.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So be unafraid. The truth is important, and we're not going to know it. We're not going to have enough people accepting. It's going to stay in the realm of, that's very interesting, I don't know, unless someone comes forward more conclusively. And not just comes forward and says, well, I talked to someone who knows something.
What do you make of the fact that it seems like the elected representatives who are heading this effort, who are pushing for this, and who seem to be giving comment on the question of whether or not there is extraterrestrial life, do seem to be all Republicans?
That's a good question. I mean, look, the Republican Party, I've commented on this before, the Republican Party is becoming the home of the skeptics in general. The Republican Party is the party that has lost faith in institutions.
No. And yeah. Well, we just don't haphazardly believe anything anybody says. Maybe a little more critical thinking on the other side of ufology would be a little helpful too. You know, all this wishful thinking, living in fantasy land, post-disclosure world reality isn't going to happen anytime soon. And we have got so much work to do, you have no idea. This is all great, but we've got years to go. Years. Greer is saying, if we don't have it in 6 months, why bother? That's a defeatist attitude if I've ever heard one from such a positive inspiration to ufology. Greer. Greer is... my choice for the most positive. He's not a motivational speaker, Greer. He doesn't have that motivational speaker sense like a Lou Elizondo. Huh? Every time I think of Lou, I always think of when he looked over a crowd of zero. That whole empty auditorium. We're not alone. Boy, I tell you, the body language experts came out of the woodwork for Grush this time. All right, so Rubio is going to be the guy who's going to get the whistleblower, is going to protect them. He's going to make sure they're all safe and sound and nobody gets murdered or worse. Purgatory. It's a crazy world to live in a government. Once you're in politics, really, if you want to be in politics and your goal is to get a high seat, I think it changes you. Unless you're a strong enough person. Hey, Schwarzenegger, if you haven't seen Arnold yet on Netflix, I recommend taking a look at it. It's phenomenal. Not only because I love Arnold Schwarzenegger and it was nostalgia for me, reliving my whole entire adult life, but he really is an inspiration. That guy really lived 3 lives in one. Bodybuilder, movie star, politician. He said politics, it's a weird game. He says it took all of his time because he was doing it right. He got away because he got away from his family. So he stopped doing politics. It was changing him. It's interesting. Yeah, he's a good man. He's interesting. Arnold Schwarzenegger's an interesting fellow. You know, if he was to be the guy in ufology, this is all bullshit. Not until we have any evidence, dear. There is no way you can tell us there's aliens and UFOs without evidence. Come on, stop being the girly man. Right? He would say that. Where's the evidence? You got evidence, and fuck it, there's nothing there. So my new philosophy on ufology, what would Schwarzenegger do? This is bullshit. This is a pile of dog shit. Without the evidence there, you've got nothing. Right? It's true. Nuts and bolts, man. That's what sells. That's going to put asses in the seats. Not, it's real because he said it is. That ship has sailed. We need to up the game. Hey, did anybody? Nobody did it this past weekend, had their Lantonios. What's up, Lantonio? $5 super chat. Been a while since I supported. And sorry, I've come in some tougher times financially. You don't ever have to explain. Man, just being here is support. Thank you, Lantonio. Yeah, man. Good to see you. Appreciate it. Mucho gusto, generoso. And what was this right underneath Lantonio? FAP says they don't make speakers like it. I hope not. I hope not. Hey, you know, if I was ever to get on that main stage, I would get a coach. Trust me. I don't know. I don't think I need one, but I'm like Trump. I'll say whatever comes out of my mind. It's the East Coast attitude that was ingrained in my first 10, 11 years of my life. And, you know, family. FAP, I think I'll take that as a compliment. I don't know yet. All right. But the whole story is interesting, what's going on right now with these whistleblowers coming out. But I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Did anybody ask Grush what was his incentive for coming out, for doing that? I don't remember hearing that. I think they did ask him in a sort of roundabout way, why are you doing this? It's just not right, you know? We need to tell why. Why? No, I'm being serious. Why? Why do we need to know this? We've been doing fine without it. right? What do they think? And I'm wondering if they thought this through, the whistleblowers. If David Grush thought it through, if all of us thought it through. What's supposed to happen by them coming out? What is supposed to now happen? Oh, the government's going to start shaking in its knees and start pouring information out because, well, we've only been asking for 80 years, so why start now? Just because a couple of people, are coming forward? All right, they came forward. It's our word against theirs. They can't get the evidence. We have it all, and we're not giving it up. It's plain and simple. Keep telling your stories. Keep blowing the whistle. You guys don't have the evidence. The government is right. Without evidence, it's just all stories. At least that's what I think they're trying to say is keep talking. You can say whatever you want. That's why they allowed Grush to go up there and say whatever he wanted, pretty much. Because they know. Nobody's got the evidence. It's out there somewhere. I just feel it. But Rubio says he received firsthand accounts from high-level government officials who have seen firsthand, crashed UFOs in government possession. Those are up next, right here on Whistleblower TV on GoofOn. News Nation, they are on top of the UFO world, aren't they? News Nation, they're just doing it all. Let's see what they have to say about this too.
Top-ranking senator on the Intelligence Committee. He knows the secret stuff about all of this. He's the guy you want to talk to about this.
Rubio knows all the secret stuff, so he's kind of like taking the role of like a lawyer type of person. Kind of like, who's the guy with the white hair? Sheehan? Because Daniel Sheehan knows everything. Having to be a whistleblower constitutionalist back in 30 years ago, even this year. I find this all very interesting. That it has come to this level to where Marco Rubio is immersing himself as the go-to guy when we're talking about whistleblowers in the government, because apparently a couple of whistleblowers have come forward and had behind-door meetings with the government already.
And he has been hard to get on the record until now. Just hours ago, we finally got Rubio on camera, and what he said, it is big news. Senator Rubio says Grush is not the only high-level government official to come forward with these kinds of claims. There are others, he says. Let me say that again. Grush, who you saw on our air, is not the only one to come forward, according to Rubio. Others have come forward in secret to Congress. News Nation's Washington correspondent Joe Khalil just wrapped up an interview with Rubio a little while ago. He joins me live now. All right, Joe, this is quite a development. I know you've been trying to track down Rubio for quite some time. I don't think any...
I wanted to see what Rubio said, not this guy. He interviewed him. There we go.
People say there are people that have come forward to share information with our committee over the last couple of years. I would imagine some of them are potentially some of the same people that perhaps he's referring to. I want to be very protective of these people. A lot of these people came to us even before these protections were in the law for whistleblowers to come forward.
Sorry, people who have had firsthand knowledge, who claim to have firsthand knowledge of seeing this type of thing?
Or have firsthand knowledge or firsthand claims of certain things. Some are public figures, and you've heard from them in the past. Others, have not shared publicly. And so we're trying to gather as much of that information as we can. And the reason why I'm being cautious, I'm not trying to be evasive, but I am trying to be protective of these people. Some of these people still work in the government. And frankly, a lot of them are very fearful of their jobs, fearful of their clearances, fearful of their career. and some, frankly, are fearful of harm coming to them.
So that category of people who have firsthand knowledge, who say they have actually seen these kinds of things, do you find many of them credible?
Well, I don't find them either not credible or credible, because
That's a terrible answer. I was just thinking, why isn't he saying, yeah, they are credible? Why else wouldn't why wouldn't I have him on if they're not credible? What am I going to say? They're not? How do you not say that? He's almost saying, by giving that shitty answer, that politically correct answer, is that it doesn't matter what I believe. And Rubio may not believe it, but guess what? He's letting them speak, or I'm not letting them, but he's going to protect them the best he can. Yay.
Because we have no basis. Understand, some of these claims are things that are beyond sort of the realm of what any of us has ever dealt with. What I think we owe them is just a mature, understand, listening, and trying to put all these pieces together and just sort of intake the information without any prejudgment or jumping to any conclusions in one direction or another.
Nobody's prejudging. Mature? All right. You got me there. I'll do my best. But give them a fair shake and listen to what they have to say is basically what he's saying. This is America. They want to commit treason. Let them commit treason.
I will say I find most of these people at some point, or maybe even currently, have held very high clearances and high positions within our government. So you do ask yourself, like, what incentive would so many people with that kind of qualification, these are serious people, have to come forward and make something up?
Because people have made stuff up for nothing. People do the craziest things. And why would it be so out of line to say, how do we know these people aren't being prepped to give us wrong information? So by telling us we have alien bodies and craft in possession is the direction the government wants to go, Rich? Yeah. Yeah, right now. Why? If it was about disclosure and the government wants to start doing it this way, I don't know if there's another way we could do it. I just don't like that we have to go through the annals of congressional hearing. We got to go through all these steps. And why can't people just want to come out when they want to come out? Just do what you want. You want to come out? Do it. That's the way it should be. Not getting it set up and we've been talking about it and been waiting for these people to retire. That I understand. But what about the people who are already retired that have been talking about it? I'm going to come forward. I'm going to come clean. I'm going to do it all. Now you can. No, I can't. They told me I'd be killed if I ever said anything. No, not anymore. You're okay. Come on out. It's okay. Tell us what you know. Here, take my hand. Come on, it's okay. Are you kidding me? Anytime the government does this, it's okay. It's not okay. Scary. Because they've been hiding it the whole time. Now, all of a sudden, this is a trick, isn't it? This is a trick. Don't they understand why we're a little bit hesitant just to jump in and believe? I mean, because they're asking us to put our faith in these people that they're telling us the truth when we've seen and heard throughout history people aren't truthful. And nothing ever gets verified in ufology. These guys will come out left and right, right? Oh yeah, I was there. I saw the whole thing. Any pictures? No. Radar? No. They took it. Any sound? You got any audio? Maybe like Colonel Holton? No. Just it's a good story though, right? Yeah, I guess. Che Ragnarsson says for £5, £5. Arnold said, "Screw your freedom" during the Oh, did he? Oh no, that's not good at all. But you know what Arnold said? He didn't like the way he was turning into that person. So maybe he said some things because it's politics. And that's what he kept saying. It's politics. He's a totally different animal. He's completely different than anything. This is not good. Arnold wanted to push things quicker. Why do we have to go through all this legislation and all the talk and all the meetings? Let's just have it. Just put your pen on the paper. Sign it. You know it's a good deal. And nobody would do it. People were starting to push back against his so gung-ho-ness, But why do things have to take so effing long? Why do we need a trail of paper? That's the government. The government always drags their feet. And I hate that. And you know why? Because it always comes down to money. You can only go so fast with so much money. So that sucks, Che Ragnarsson. Yeah, I don't like hearing that. But thank you for the £5, £5. Continuing supporter, for sure. Thank you. I really hope everything that we're saying is for disclosure. I do. But we'll just have to play it by ear. I'm not counting it out. I'm not saying... I want to keep saying it's never going to happen. But if they keep doing this, the day they show evidence is the day I know that they mean business. And I'm talking real evidence, not the Mosul orb or a 0.8 second, 0.8 of a second beep on a screen. I'm talking a nice high definition still image or video still or video of something. That's verifiable, by the way. Verifiable. Yeah, not just... oh, yeah, here it is, like a Corbell video, and we got to figure everything out. No. It's all got to be wrapped in a nice package, babe. It's got to be done right. Tired of this dragging our feet. All right. Well, let's get to these school kids. I'll shout this out real quick. Why isn't it working? Bad Boy Channel with the $10 super chat. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Who said that? First, who said that? Carl Sagan? Einstein? Goofon? No. Thanks, Bad Boy Channel. I appreciate the support, man. $10. I appreciate that. That's a mucho gusto generoso. Thanks, man. PayPal. Who's this? This is, wow, $25. David Wilcox, man, thank you. Holy crap, on PayPal for making 125 plus viewers. Yeah, it's still up there at 125. Yeah, we had 167 last night. Yeah. Thank you, David Wilcox, not Wilcox. Mucho gusto, generoso. It was Carl Sagan. Arthur C. Clarke? Thanks, Mr. Wilcox. Mucho gusto, generoso, sir. Now, behind me, on the green screen, we have students from 1974 saw UFOs over their school. This is such a good story, it came with a video. Yeah, I'm going to play the video. This way, the video will tell you everything you need to know, and then we got a little bonus after. We got a lot of stuff. Oh, I want to play this video first. This is old. This came out 6 months ago, I think. But I can't play the music with it. Because, you know, you just can't. I don't know. What do I care? All right, I'm going to play this. See if your favorite, while I get the video ready. Check this out. You guys have already probably seen this on Twitter.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold.
That was cute. Yeah, you know who was left out? Spaced Out Radio. Spaced Out Radio was left out. You know why? That guy's more hated than me, Dave Scott. Yeah, I didn't realize it. All right, let's get to these kids. Now, this is a story of a man named Brady. And he lived in, Gorredijk? Netherlands. Friesland. You live in Friesland? Da. And I'm just going to play it so you can just learn it. In one of the best school story UFO historic things you've ever heard. All right, here we go.
Het is Gorredijk, een klein plaatsje in het zuidwesten van Friesland, waar in februari van dit jaar tientallen mensen vreemde verschijnselen in de lucht zagen.
Er was een dikke
None of these came in English. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to read.
tennisbal en die was ongeveer daar. En toen ging hij zo heen en weer.
En dan ging hij daar weer heen. En dan was hij weer even weg. En dan kwam hij daar weer tevoorschijn.
En ineens zagen we achter een huis een soort met paddenstoel leek het wel.
I bet.
Dat was wel leuk om te zien. En, ja. Je moest kunnen zien wat er gebeurde. Dus je had nergens thuis voor een bank te wezen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
En ik zag groen licht, dus hij zag rood licht.
Ja. Het was heel vreemd, want je ziet toch meestal dezelfde kleur. En nou ja, het leek op paddenstoel. Die anders zeggen dat er op tennisbal leek. Maar ja, zo'n paddenstoelachtig van ANWB. Zo'n fiets.
Isn't that strange, though? I can't play the whole thing through. I gotta stop here and there. She saw a red light. The other girl saw a green light. Some people saw a mushroom. Some saw a tennis ball. Do you think that has to do with the angle and the sun? Or is it like, how could she see a green and she see a red? Let me tell you, I've been sky watching with people before. And I can't tell you how many times, I lost count, where I would have on my camera the object. And I'd be like, how can you not see it? They stand right next to me, can't see it. I go, look at the camera. And they're like, how do you see this? And I'm like, how do you know? I mean, it's so easy to see. And then you got to go buy a laser and you got to show everybody. It's right there. I still don't see it. Squint a little bit. Oh, yeah, you need glasses. That's all it is. I think these people needed glasses back there. No? Color doesn't matter. It must have had like some sort of prism effect off the sun, right? Maybe the ship was made up of crystals. I don't know. I just find it weird. All right.
fietspaddenstoel.
Toen zagen we hier ergens, langs een paal, een raar ding. Dat was dus ergens een vliegtuig, maar het leek er dus helemaal niet op, omdat het stil bleef staan. En toen verdween het heel snel, en toen kwam het weer terug. En toen verdween het weer heel snel naar de kant van Gorredijk op.
En we waren aan het trainen hier op het voetbalveld. En toen op de om een uur is 7:15, 10:15 verscheen er een driehoek met een punt en witte licht. Het verscheen hier aan de hemel. En dat ging richting Jubbega. En toen ging je weer naar links, toen naar rechts.
Now this kid saw a triangle. Went to the left, went to the right. It just stood still in the air. It took off. It came back. They are seeing what? I don't know, but now we've got a mushroom shape, a tennis ball shape, and a triangle shape. But yet there was only one object there. Maybe there wasn't. I don't know. This is so odd. It's one of the oddest. But it reminds me of that other one where the kid said, was it Australia? They said they saw it come out of the trees. Then it went back into the trees. Then it came back out like it was just going in and out of like a portal. But it was going, yeah, it's so bizarre. It sounds like almost the same type of experience. But let's see if they talk to the aliens.
Rechts, op een gegeven ogenblik bleef je stilstaan in de lucht.
Nou, het was ovaalvormig en geel van kleur.
Oval?
En de kleur werd steeds feller en het leek dus op een vliegende schotel.
Ik was op school en toen...
So we have a disc, a tennis ball, a mushroom, and a triangle. 4 different UFO shapes.
Toen hoorde ik ook allemaal van die verhalen en toen gingen ze een keer naar buiten en zou ze ook eens kijken of er ook kut aan de lucht
Another ball.
En toen zag ik die grote bal.
Wat zagen deze jongens en meisjes? Waren het lichten van hoogvliegende vliegtuigen? Waren het vallende sterren? Of waren het misschien toch die fantastische ruimteschepen die men vliegende schotels noemt?
Woensdag 20 februari niets gezien. Donderdag 21 februari niets gezien. Vrijdag 22 februari wel wat gezien. Zaterdag 23 februari wel wat gezien. Zondag 24 februari wel wat gezien. Maandag 25 februari niets gezien. Woensdagavond 6 februari. Kijp en ik hebben een vliegende schotel gezien. Het was een rood licht en verdween in de richting van Lippenhuizen. Toen was het ongeveer 7:30. Donderdag 7 februari. Onder voetbaltrainen zagen we een groot wit licht. Het ging van oost naar west.
So the other kid didn't see anything on the first 2 nights like this kid did.
En we hebben hem ongeveer 2 minuten waargenomen.
That's wild. Yeah, you know, there's no other videos. Like there's no part 2. I mean, I spent a long time trying to find additional information on this, and nothing else came up. That's where it ends. Yeah. Sort of. So I found this channel, and it is called, let's see, it is UFOB, and it's a playlist called UFOs in Schools. And I thought it was amazing that all of these different, you got to see all the different schools that had experiences. Check this out. Can we make that a little bigger? There we go. 1977, Broadhaven. We've talked about that here. 1996, that's the Mantanas in Cuba. We never talked about that. Here's the Ariel School one we talked about. 1994, Dutch Ariel School. Oh, that's Ariel. So you got a couple of schools already. 3. Francis Chermuta. Oh, it's Ariel. Yeah. Let's see. Russian kids in Kanantsevo. See robot image. Let's take a listen to this one.
Привычную душе и сердцу неспешную и несуетную жизнь.
All right, I'll read it. The peaceful rural life that was familiar to the hearts and souls of Kahorfisk. completely changed in the last few days. The typical provincial town became famous. The curious rushed to Gorredijk from distant towns and villages in the hopes of witnessing and potentially meeting aliens. Wow. One of the biggest newspapers also predicted the exact date of the next alien event. This is what we witnessed this morning in Gorredijk. Alas, the meeting with aliens never came to fruition, but a good half of the residents in Gorredijk are sure that the UFOs chose their town because of its beauty. Aww. That's adorable. There's a railway sleeper factory that is harming nature, and if nature's forces aren't able to defeat it, then the messengers of the universe will certainly be able to. Nah. The adult residents and, of course, children of Gorredijk seriously believe in UFOs, and in my opinion, they have for a long time. These young girls, led by 6th grader Sergei Belavinsky, came to be the only witness of the UFO event, first picked up by local newspaper before the story Central Press. They claimed that there, at this very place near the village of Konantsivo, they witnessed aliens arriving on Earth. We just finished swimming and suddenly we saw a dot. A dot! Are you kidding me? A dot? We're talking dots? Let's see if there's more to it. I'm joking. It grew and grew very quickly, then went down near the village of Konantsivo and rolled around. Rolled around. Was it there or... Well, yeah, here it rolled down the hill. It stopped all those bushes over there and came out a man without a head. He had a glowing disc on his chest. His hands were much lower than his knees. And he walked like this. How, like that? Yes, like a robot. He got out and went over there to the iron thing that's standing right there. This iron thing is called a transformer, right? And he was still standing there and looking around, as if he was getting acquainted with the surroundings. And then a woman in a red dress came from there. She began to climb up the road and reached the middle of the hill, and the man at the transformer apparently noticed her and disappeared immediately. We shouted to her not to go there. We tried to warn her that there was someone there, but she didn't hear us and she continued. And then what happened to her? She reached the place where he just was, and then where he was standing, she arrived there and then disappeared with him. Could you draw me what you saw? Would you like to draw it? Yes, I would. Except for the drawings that you see and the children themselves, who instantly became known in the Gorredijk, the UFO did not leave behind any material evidence, and life in Konantsivo is just going the way it was before. The villagers were offended that the aliens did not bother to come to have tea at their houses. The residents would like them as guests. Oh, that's Broadhaven. Alien robots. It's a cool story. It's a cool story. But that first story, the one that I did this show on tonight, is interesting. Because when you listen to all of these other cases that are here, they all have the same, I don't know, tone? Here, let's see. What is this? 1967. All right, somebody shoot me in the eyeball. In 1967, July 19th, French kids saw little beings trying to hide, move very fast.
Alors lundi, à 15h,
Oh, no shit! Oh, they interviewed him.
vous teniez un peu plus bas dans le champ là-bas, et vous avez vu dans le bosquet qui est juste derrière.
So on Monday around 3 p.m., you were over there by the bushes and you saw a man?
Vous avez vu un homme.
Oui.
Yes. What did the man look like? He looked like a man, like a small child, but it really wasn't a child. Oh. He was young. He was going very fast. He was dressed in black. Did he look like he was hiding? Yeah. That's it? And what do you think? Didn't you think it was a wanderer? Oh, no. And they weren't children at all because they were going really fast. And you weren't the only one seeing this phenomenon. You all saw the same thing. Thing? Yes, roughly. How many were there? You were all together, yeah? So the next day you heard there had been lights in the sky? Yes, the next morning. What did you think then? That maybe they were Martians. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I wasn't sure at all. And you two saw something? Yeah, smoke coming out of the bush. What do you think? Martians? I thought the saucer was coming out of the bush. Like I said, the bush. It was a saucer. Yeah. No smoke, a saucer? Yeah. Is this guy listening to me? All right. Next. These are interesting. Rather interesting. Yeah? No? Maybe. I don't know. Came out of the bush. How many times you got to say it, huh? Here's that 74. Is this maybe a part 2 to it? Oh, whoa. What did I... Whoa. Wrong. Oh, that's the one I just played. Okay. Well, not just, but. Channel 10, that's the Westall. We all know. Oh, that's it? This is the end? 1950 case. I touched it. Oh, David and Charles Lightfoot. That's a great. Oh, this is good. Come on, be in English. 2 young boys from River Road went fishing. And instead of a string of birds, they came home with a flying saucer. As flying saucer landed, one of the boys touched it. It was about as big as a round, wasn't it? David and Charles Lightfoot, 12 and 9 years old, respectively, went fishing yesterday morning, came running home with a detailed story about a flying saucer that landed, then took off again in a matter of seconds. David left, touched the mysterious object, said his arms and face were burned by some sort of liquid or gas it gave off. The pair are David Lightfoot, 12 years old, son of Mr. and Mrs. J.A. Lightfoot, and Blue Bonnet Drive, and Charles Lightfoot, 9, blah, blah, blah. David in 6th grade and Charles in 3rd. They are cousins. The two excitedly babbled out their eyewitness accounts of saucer to newsmen and radio men. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Before they had pulled in even a little one, they sighted what had been at first thought was a balloon. It was about 20 degrees above the horizon. They indicated by arms motions the object was traveling from the south. As it came nearer, the object decreased in speed, and it became apparent that it wasn't a balloon. The disc passed by only a few feet over the boys, and David shouted to Charles, "I'll bet it's one of those flying saucers. I'm going after it, Charles." Charles did not follow. David said the disc circled slowly, disappeared over a small hill to the north. Before David could top the rise, the object had landed. It was about as big as around as a regular automobile tire, the youth related, and about as high as a knee, maybe a foot and a half. I could see it good. According to David's account, the object was round. You mother's monkey mutt. According to David's account, the object was rounded on the bottom and had a top part, which resembled a flat plate. The top, he said, was separate from the bottom by a space perhaps 1/2 inch in depth and was held in the bottom section by some sort of screw or something in the middle. When I first saw it good, David explained, the bottom was still, but the top was spinning around real fast. That is real interesting. And the top part that was spinning around there was a little peak that had a kind of a spindle thing sticking out of it. The spindle was still too. It must have been connected to the bottom part. The object was blue-gray in color and had no openings of any sort other than the space between the top-bottom section, according to the boy's story. When I came over that hill, the thing was only a little ways from me, and I ran away and dived at it, David related. My fingers just barely touched it, and it felt slick, sort of like, I guess, a snake would. It was hot, too. The youngster went on to relate that before he could get a hold of the thing The top began revolving faster, and it made the well side of a whistling noise and took off without warming up or anything. It disappeared in a straight line in the northeast in a matter of 5-10 seconds, he estimated. In the process of taking off, though, the object emitted some sort of gas or spray that turned the youngster's arms a bright red, and it caused small welts on his arms and face. There wasn't hardly any sunshine this morning, but I'm tired of reading. They were sincere. Well, it is amazing how many accounts and experiences that are happening to school children, doctors, lawyers, policemen, astronauts. How come there are very rarely any astronomers seeing UFOs? Where are the astronomers? They're looking up all the time. Nah, they're looking at a very pinpoint, I know. Well, I think that's all very interesting. Everything that we're going through, from whistleblowers, aliens landing in Las Vegas, to more claims of whistleblowers. But there's some red flags we got to look out for. And here are 5 of red flags from whistleblowers. And this is by the New York Post, of all places. Is this Stephen Greenstreet, I wonder? I'm not so sure. Here we go. And 5 red flags with whistleblowers stating anything. Go.
Non-human origin technical vehicles, no kidding, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
Let's dive into this one. So the quick version of this story is that an ex-military guy has come forward and spilled the beans about the government secretly hiding crashed UFOs and alien bodies. This person's name is David Grush, and it appears on paper he has quite the resume. But here are a few red flags with this story. Number 1, no evidence has been presented at all. Normally, this would be the beginning and the end of this video. No evidence at all has been presented of extraterrestrial UFOs, extraterrestrial bodies. And Mr. Grush claims he didn't actually see any of this stuff. He just heard that this stuff is true. Another red flag. Before Mr. Grush went to the media with this story, he had to clear with the Department of Defense what he could and couldn't say, because he did work in sensitive offices in the military. Things that are top secret, you can't just go out and tell everyone about. And so, as it's reported, he went to the Department of Defense to clear this. It's an office called the Defense Office of Pre-Publication and Security Review, or DOPSR. They review everything you want to say in a book, in an interview, whatever medium. And they say, no, you can't say this. This is top secret. That's what they do. This is top secret, can't share it. And it's reported that he went through this process. And they signed off on what he had to say. What does that mean? It means everything that he's saying in these interviews, the government doesn't consider it a secret. It doesn't consider it top secret. It doesn't consider it something they don't want revealed. Mr. Grush is now a private citizen. He has the right to say whatever he wants. The Department of Defense is not going to dictate what kind of stories this now private citizen can tell. They're only going to dictate what is top secret and can't be revealed. So he didn't reveal any secrets. Another red flag was when I personally called David Grush for comment, to get his input, to ask him questions about all of this stuff. And here's how the phone call went. Hello? Hi, is this David Grush? Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to? This is Stephen Greenstreet with the New York Click. He hung up on me. I called.
Wow. Gee, I wonder who influenced Grush, by the way, is how you say his name, not Grush. Well, the reason I know how you say his name because he introduced himself as Grush. I find it hysterical that he hangs up on Stephen Greenstreet as soon as he hears his name. That's the influence of Lou Elizondo getting in people's heads. Don't listen to this one. Don't listen to that one. They're order followers. They're beta males. They don't have a backbone. And Grush doesn't have a backbone. I don't care what anybody thinks, feels, likes about him. That guy's weak. His head shakes, his pierced lips, his body language. I wouldn't be friends with a guy like that. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to handle it. I'd be like, dude, calm down. You're a little bit emphatic for me on everything. I could tell. I think Grush. I'm not. Look. I'll think about how I can say it. Does he like men?
Back, didn't answer. I left a voicemail. I then texted.
I got that gaydar feeling from him. He seemed like he, maybe. Hey, nothing wrong with it. People are just sensitive about saying gay. Is he married to a woman? Does he have any kids? I don't know. My gaydar was telling me something else. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But it does in a way. Because some people I've noticed are a little more sensitive. That's all. A little sensitive, with his head shakes and his body language. And yes, that's all. I see things, I say it. Nothing wrong with it. If anybody thinks that I am homophobic, you are so wrong in every way. I'm neither racist, homophobic. I'm not even a Nazi. I love women. So I don't know what else you want me to say. I don't have to justify what I do. It's America. If I think David Grush might be gay, I have my reasons for thinking it. Doesn't mean anything. It's just like saying, is he Puerto Rican? Is he Cuban? Nothing wrong with it. I'm just mentioning it. So let's calm down. Fucking believable.
Texted him and sent him other messages to no response. Look, if you've got a solid story, you've got to be able to talk to the national press. If your story is true, you shouldn't be scared of hard questions. You shouldn't be scared of critical inquiry. Click. Another red flag is the sources for all of this. It's the same names that have been involved with this UFO story for years.
Exactly what I said. I said the same thing. I could swear this guy listened to us last week. Everything I said, we're not getting anything new. It's the same stories. It's the same people. They're all friends. They're all in on it, man. That's why I don't have faith in this narrative that's being pushed out to us. All right. And if I want to think David Grush is gay, I could say that. Nothing wrong with that. There's just a little tweaks in the way he acts. That's all. Sorry. Not sorry. But I think he's got that potential.
The authors of the original story are Ralph Blumenthal and Leslie Kean. In the UFO world, these guys are superstars. Miss Kean, for example, for many, many years, dating back decades, has been a UFO activist, a UFO researcher, a UFO author, a UFO believer. And these two wrote the now infamous 2017 New York Times front page article revealing this Pentagon UFO program. Our reporting at the Post has revealed that Most of that article is erroneous, factually inaccurate, deceptive. And Miss Kane actually went on a Showtime documentary and admitted that she had a specific goal and agenda with that New York Times article, and that was to get people to believe in UFOs.
The angle that I was taking in my reporting was to try to get credibility for the subject, and I knew that that was not the way to go. That was not the first step in terms of getting people to accept this.
Through my own research, I've learned that other news outlets had this story, were presented with this story, did not publish the story. Ralph Blumenthal, in a tweet, for example, says the Washington Post had this story, but they wanted to take some time, he says.
Yeah, because there's nothing to the story. It's a dead story, even though it was very popular. There was nothing new, nothing exciting, other than a guy telling us stuff we already knew, and stuff that he heard. I don't know why everybody got so excited over David Grush, but I just don't get it. I really don't. And I still don't get it. I think a lot of people are getting it, though. I think a lot of people are figuring it out that this wasn't good. He just didn't do anything.
They needed more time. Washington Post needed more time for what?
You know, I think it had to do with them trying to take away from Greer's whistleblowing event. That's what I think. They bookended it. They had the interview with Grush a week before and the day before. I mean, that's pretty shitty of them to do. Because Greer had that date secured for a very long time, probably a year. They knew when Greer was going to be doing his NPC thing. They took advantage of it. And they came out with this. Why? I don't know. I still don't understand where they're going. If it's all bull, if it's all BS, then it's not about disclosure, and it never is, and it never has been. Because my gut instinct tells me that this has nothing to do with disclosure at all. Until we see evidence, sorry. These are just stories that are being repeated over. And what do you think is going to happen with the next few whistleblowers that come out? Do you really believe that they're going to tell us some new stuff? Let's say they do. Now, their new stuff will be the stories we're going to be hearing for the next 5 years. That's just how they do it. And if you read the legislation and if you read through everything and what people are saying, they're all saying the same thing. This administration is doing this administration is doing that. They are pushing everything as fast as they can before Biden or the administration loses the election. Because that's a very good chance. So they're doing everything they can now while they have the people in power that can do it. Yeah, I know Rubio's isn't he a Republican? Bipartisan deals and all that shit? It really isn't. This is all run by the people on the left, and they just have to get a few people on the right just need to get their signatures. And, well, anything for a threat, we'll save the country. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That's how they pitched it. And that's why it became that way. And that's why a lot of things are getting pushed through, because they used that threat assessment for 5 years straight. They're a threat, flying in airspace with impunity, But once this administration leaves, I am really worried about ufology and where we will be heading in the next 5 years after, starting today. So we could look at it that way and say, maybe they are. Maybe that's what Greer meant. If we don't get this done in 6 months, he knows the next administration won't be so gung-ho about UFOs. Maybe that's what it is. It's all politics. sucks. Me? No. Didn't make me mad, Michelle. No, no, not at all. You weren't the only one that was saying that. No, I didn't think you meant anything bad by it. No. You were fine. I wasn't even thinking about what you said. It's well, you weren't the only one. So, just some people just don't put words in the right way. Other platforms. Moonlick with $2 says, would Leslie be successful selling cotton swabs? Are you talking to, Leslie Kane? I was wondering if you were talking about Melinda Leslie for a second. Melinda Leslie thinks everything's always disclosure. You can't trust that woman. Ever. Leslie Kane, can't trust her either. They're all part of it. They're just trying to set up their careers. This has nothing to do with disclosure, sadly. Because they specifically say in that thing I was reading to you guys, they talk about the administration. Always. It's brought up every single time I read this. Now, let's see. It'll take me a minute to find, but they keep talking about it. Yeah, I thought it was right here. The language within the proposal, nevertheless, it should be nevertheless, it should be noted that the Department of Defense has not confirmed whether this statement extends to the programs involving materials of unknown origin that have not been independently verified. I can't find it. Thank you, Moonlicht. Mucho gusto, Generoso. Continuing supporter of Goof On. Let's finish this up. Let's hear the rest. Only 30 seconds left.
Could it be for fact-checking, background checks, intense vetting, more fact-checking, and so on? Anyway, they couldn't wait, so they just published it in the Debrief. Now, what's the Debrief? The Debrief is a low-level underground media outlet, and they run lots of UFO stories. They got their start running UFO stories, breathless UFO stories, thousands and thousands of words of UFO stories on the Debrief. So to recap, a lot of red flags with this story, but that's not stopping the story from spreading like wildfire. All of these UFO stories, they just get copied and pasted en masse. And I assume that's what's going to happen with this story until someone on the Hill in Congress says, wait a minute, let's get people in a room under oath and figure out what's going on here.
Would be nice. And apparently they are going to have another congressional hearing on, about UFOs, if they're going to call it that. But they're going to be gearing up again. And this time, they are going to be talking to whistleblowers. I'm not really sure if they're going to be represented in the next congressional hearing, but they are gearing up for an incredible, we'll have to see, for an incredible hearing. I'm going to, what do people mean when they think the powers that be can keep this all a secret? Here are two police officers recounting their encounter with the UFO in 1967. This was 56 years ago, the day before I was born, the year before I was born. Let's take a look. This is history. I don't think I have ever played this.
With PC Roger Willey and PC Clifford Waycott, based at Oakhampton, were out on night duty patrolling the A3072, Hatherley to Holsworthy Road. Precisely 1 minute past 4 o'clock this morning, they sighted an object 400 yards away from them and at treetop level. They reported immediately to Oakhampton Police Station, where further men were brought out. PC Willie, you were driving the patrol car at the time. Can you describe it to us?
Well, the object was likened unto a cross, although the inner parts were something similar to the points of a compass, and they were quite blurred, the inner parts of the cross.
But it was brilliant, brilliant white, brilliant light.
How in fact did you see it? I mean, did it make any kind of noise to you?
No, there was no noise. The first time we saw it was when it was just above treetop height and ahead of us. And from then, Consul Willie just said, here we go then, and we drove off after it, if you know what I mean.
What kind of speed were you traveling at?
We were traveling very fast.
Did it make any kind of sound?
No sound that I heard at all. There was no outside noise apart from...
This is amazing. These guys literally followed a UFO that was shaped like maybe a cross or a star, very bright white light at treetop levels in 1967. Doesn't look like they're making it up to me either. It's phenomenal. This is better than whistleblowing stuff. This is legitimate UFO history and better than anything we've seen recently. And it's just a story.
The noise of the car itself.
And the acceleration away from us was terrific. So really, we didn't get under it to hear any sound.
But you were really close enough to be absolutely certain that your eyes weren't fooling you.
Oh yes, it was just in front of us.
Wow.
There was no question whatsoever that this was a figment of the imagination. It was definitely there. It was definitely either manned by some sort of being or...
Did he say
just in front of us?
There was no question whatsoever that this was a figment of the imagination. It was definitely there. It was definitely either manned by some sort of being or remotely controlled. It was definitely being controlled to view our car or...
You had the feeling that it was watching you?
Definitely, yes.
Wow, that is amazing. In 56 years ago, the guy says right there, it was either remote controlled or it was flown by something, aliens, I guess. But man, that is such an incredible story. It was right in front of them. Love that stuff. Can't get enough of that stuff. All right, I'm going to show you a UFO. Am I? Hold on. Yeah. This is from Mr. MBB333. I've got to show this. This is how we teach. So apparently another sighting, but you be the judge, and then I'll tell you what I think it is, and I'm pretty sure I'm right. Mr. MBB333, go.
I want to take you guys now to the mysterious white objects in the daytime sky. Video footage submitted by Rob out of Kentucky. Goes back to January 4th of 2023 at 1:20.
Guys, that's an airplane. No matter what you say, you cannot tell me it's not. I know you don't see the wings. I know you don't see, well, you can barely see it up here. It's just that they're out of focus and it's the angle of the plane. It is an airplane 1,000,000%.
26 p.m. when he looked up and noticed this white object cruising through the sky like John saw in Arkansas and like the one you're about to see out of Scottsdale, Arizona. The one in Scottsdale is moving very, very fast. This one here was moving kind of slow, wasn't making any noise, so it's not a helicopter. I'm going to zoom in here tight on this thing, and you can see it almost looks like it's kind of wiggling or something through the daytime.
That is not wiggling. That is called pixelation. It is a little bit out of focus. It is trying to adjust for the bright light on a blue sky or a white reflective source. It is not spinning, rotating, shaking, vibrating, or a force field has been placed around it. That is just the way the film, which is digital, looks.
Time sky. Again, no sound, no flashing lights, appears to be solid white.
That's the thing, you know, you just can't convince people. And the only way I was able to convince my friends that they weren't seeing these blobs was when the day I bought huge lens that I put on the edge of my camera. It fit on theirs. It was kind of universal for Sony cameras. Plus, you know, we all had the same camera pretty much. And when I put this on, it changed everything. And that was when one of my friends quit skywatching. One of these. He's like, he got so mad. He said, this is all bullshit. And his name was Mike. And that was the last he ever went back out. Yeah. That was the guy who gave Jaime Maussan a hefty bag, a black garbage bag that was flying around about 1,000 feet up in a dust devil. And he recorded it thinking it was a UFO because it sparkled. And when he showed me the video, I didn't know how much he videotaped, but he videotaped it coming down to the ground. So when he showed it to me, I thought it was a UFO. I was like, this is unbelievable. And he goes, just watch. And I'm like, why? And then he followed it. And 20 minutes later, the thing came down and it was a bag. Well, he gave that first half of the video to Jaime Maussan, and Jaime Maussan's like, this is the best thing I've seen all year. Whose is this? And he's like, it's that guy's right there. So, no vetting, nothing. We got to put this in the video. I got to do it now. This is amazing. It's a garbage bag.
White. And these types of white objects are showing up in the ISS live feed all the time. People are seeing these things in the daytime sky forward. Once again,
and the reason they're seeing them in the daytime sky is because they're aeroplanes. Here, look at this one in Scottsdale next. Here's another airplane that he doesn't understand what he's looking
6
at.
p.m. Want to take you guys now to Scottsdale, Arizona, when Anthony was looking at a helicopter in the daytime sky. Right there's what it looked like, and he was actually recording it when something appeared out of nowhere. Watch up here. I'm going to zoom in on it, and we'll get a real close-up view. And you can even hear the helicopter in this video. Here comes the white
It's
object
an airplane.
right there, moving in the opposite
You
direction.
can see it.
He wasn't expecting that. It just came out of nowhere, and it was moving at a very high rate.
You could see the shadow cutting the white blob in half from the wings.
Rate of speed, as you're going to see here in a moment as we
look. I mean, this is bullshit, man. That's the wings here. The shadow's being created from the sun off of the fuselage, and that's on the wings.
Zoom in on this thing.
It's not a UFO.
Moving very fast.
And it's not even close to the helicopter. It's probably miles away.
Fast in the opposite direction. I zoom in as close as I could go. This thing was probably going in excess of 500 miles an hour in broad daylight above Scottsdale.
No, it wasn't. You're parallel. Oh, my God.
Still Arizona. Like the object we just saw in Kentucky, wasn't making any sound. And this one, too, looks like it quite possibly is in two pieces, barely connected to
This is just terrible.
Each other by something in between the two pieces.
It's
front
the
of it at one
shadow.
point almost looked purple right there, as you can see in,
Oh my
in
God.
this segment. Obviously, it's modified a little bit. I was trying to pull forward anything that maybe we couldn't see in the original video, and I don't see anything.
I'm literally embarrassed. Embarrassed.
Other than what we saw in the original video, something white moving at an
Just because you blow something up and distort it doesn't make it a UFO, bro.
incredibly high rate of speed through the daytime sky above Scottsdale.
And it's not an incredibly high rate of speed. It's normal speed for an airplane miles away going the opposite direction. Here.
And something appeared out of nowhere. Watch up here. I'm going to zoom in on it.
Right.
And we'll get a real close-up view. And you can
There it
even hear
is.
the helicopter in this video. Here comes the white object right
not
there.
going that
moving in the
fast.
opposite direction.
Anyway. God. It's just amazing to me. I'll put the link to that video in the show description, just like I do every YouTube video I play. How about this one? Meteor or UFO? This one is actually not bad. This one comes from Think Tank, but, this is from Las Vegas. This one, well, you be the judge on this one. I have no idea what we're looking at. That's how good it is. Or is it? 3, 2, go.
Get down, phone. What the fuck is that, yo? Yo, what is that? Yo. Oh, shit.
It is interesting, isn't it? Look at it from the beginning.
Get down, phone. Get down, phone. What the fuck is that, yo? Yo, what is that?
It's got a little tail to it too, right?
Get down, phone. What the fuck is that, yo? Yo, what?
There's a little tail. So I think it does look like a meteor, but it's going very slow for a meteor. Right? That is slow. There it is. You can still... No, it's gone. It's weird, right? It is a little spermy. Is it a drone? Yeah, I guess it could be a drone. It could be, you're right. It could be a drone at night. Yeah, I guess it could be a drone, you're right. And he was in his car, so you wouldn't have been able to hear it. And then as it gets away from him, then he rolls the window down. That's funny. Could have been a drone after all. Good one. Right on. It's interesting though, but because it had a tail to it. I don't know any drones that have tails. Something here, UFO hatred group. So I was reading this on Twitter. It came from Wookiee Pastimes. And there was a tweet by Tupacabra that says, I stand with B. Squidding, who is rather B. Squidding, right? And all victims of the UFO hate group. There is a hate group on UFO Twitter who have been identified by NASA for using harassment, intimidation, and threats of violence to control the UFO narrative. This is a warning shot, Squidding. We will find out your last name. Shut your effing mouth. I know his last name if you need it. Everybody knows his name because they told it. That's just weird. Who cares? See, and I don't understand what hate group identified by NASA? Where? Does anybody know about this? That there's a UFO hate group? No? All right. Disclosure already happened? Seems like we're still debating the realness of aliens, but our government more or less has confirmed through the whistleblower interview that aliens and UFOs are real. Why are people still debating this? This is what people do on Reddit. How are we still debating it? You fool. What a fool. They haven't shown us any evidence. So I get so mad sometimes. I do. What is this? This is all for the newcomers? Wait a second. Aliens in truth? Interrogation expert reacts? I don't care. Do we care anymore about the people talking about the aliens in Vegas? I guess not. I'm not in the mood for that either. All right, that's it. We're getting out of here. Tomorrow's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. 9 to 5ers. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine. It's almost Friday, I promise. I have a big day tomorrow. Right at from 7:30 on. I'll be busy all day, but I will be posting a video, a short, and some other thing. Maybe I'll supposed to now get the videos going to post online. So I didn't put the show up yet for tomorrow because I don't know if it's going to be my sightings or just regular UFO talk. But we'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on the YouTube. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, super chatters. I appreciate the support, the love, and giving the effort to be here. I can't thank you enough. We do Truthology. Truthology for ufology for you. That's right. Every day, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the tubes. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, newcomers and veterans, for making the show interesting. Yeah. All right, that's it. What else do we say? Oh yeah, be kind, be safe, and alien bless.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to you. God have mercy on your